of Denise James. Hello, Denise. How are you?
Hi, I'm very well, thank you. Thanks for having me here on this panel.
So, could you explain to the people, the viewers, what you're about, what you do, and your connection with the whole ethos of the film and in general?
Okay. All right. So I'm a qualified psychotherapist / counselor / inspiration quote. And very recently, first time publicized author.
Why is it on my phone, not on the TV?
Okay, of my book, Back to Love.
Well done.
Yeah, so yeah, I've been a therapist for 33 years. And my connection with the film in terms of the title and the ethos.
One second. If everybody can turn off their mic, please. Is it possible to turn off their mic, please, so we can hear the guest speakers and then we can open it up, yeah? So for the time being, just if you could just mute, sorry, that sounded so black. Could you mute your mic, please? Turn off your mic now. So yeah, go on, Denise.
Yeah. So I was just going to say something about the connection with the film. Why I'm here is that my book is entitled Back to Love, and it's really about my healing journey from certain experiences and certain things that's happened in relationships. And you know, it's a testimony that, you know, to find the thing that you're looking for, you have to make sure that you're also the thing being sought as well. So it's about, you know, getting right with yourself to be able to create right in a relationship with somebody else.
Well done. Right. And next, just introduce a very good friend of mine, well, all good friends of mine, but one of my comedy brethrens and a person that I can say is comedy family. The man himself, Miss Slim, in the building.
Well, go on, Quincy. Hello, ladies. How you doing? Fred Locks, he's over there as well. Your head's been down like you've been sent into the naughty corner.
He's reading the Bible.
I thought he froze. He was so still. I thought that like his video had frozen.
No, I'm here.
What are you saying? Everybody good?
Yeah, it's good. So look, you got a small part in the movie.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it was nice.
I've got a little look in. Yes, I did.
Yeah. Anything to add to the credits, it's all good.
It's all good. I mean, all more strength to Fred, because he's one of. I mean, we know there's directors and people out there doing their stuff, but Fred's actually, do you know what I mean? Putting the butter actually on the bread. Do you see what I'm saying? He's staying out there and doing the thing. So hands off to him, and he's doing genres different from what we're just used to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're always used to a kind of ghetto kind of side, man from council estate, or man, this is like a rom-com where he's doing, you know, horror movies, which black people actually survive to the end. So I'm making history. You don't even realise.
It's true, that is true.
Here and really see how much films the black person, horror movie, the black person survives till the end.
Yeah, no, real talk.
No.
All right, so look, let's introduce the man himself, because I know he's a busy man. I'm not too sure he's got a life. He's the writer, the director, the producer, the actor. You know what I mean? He's just an all-rounder in all sense of the word. So Fredi Nwaka, what's going on, Fredi?
What you saying, brother? How you doing, man?
I'm blessed, man. I've got to say this to you. I know I said it before when we was doing the shows and all that. I mean, we haven't spoken, but so proud of you.
Thank you, bro.
For what you're doing and what you've been doing, and the message you put out there. And I actually rang Kane and a few of the other cast members to tell how proud I was of them. Even the two crackheads, I rang them. It was just a wonderful piece to witness and to watch, and it was so nice to see against the narrative which media associates black movies with. You know what I mean? I was like 20 minutes in, it wasn't a killing. There wasn't no bad words. You know what I mean? Anything which is stereotype. So first things first, I want to ask you, is that what made you sit back and say, well, this is the kind of movie I'm going to do?
You know what it was, man? Exactly what you said, you know, just tired of the same narrative, man. You know what I'm saying? It's all, every film that was coming out of the UK predominantly was guns, drugs, prison, guys going to prison, come out, wants to change his life around. And I was like, you know what, we got to start changing the narratives, man, and give our children something different to see. Like, how often do you see black love on screens? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, how often you turn television on and you see someone that looks like you in love or falling in love? Yeah. So I was like, you know what, that was one of my points. I wanted to change the narrative. And also, obviously, I grew up in hip hop and R&B. So when I came up back in the day and I was rapping, all the women and all the people you see on the screen were either white or light skin. Do you know what I'm saying? And no disrespect to light skinned men or women, but I was like, you know what? I want to have a more, I guess, a rounded view of color, man. So I had the opportunity to put some dark skinned people on the screen. You know what I'm saying? Like, I grew up watching music videos where every woman was light, Jodeci. The women only liked the light-skinned guys in the group. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, so what happened to the dark-skinned guys? Do you know what I mean? It's like, it wasn't cool to be dark-skinned until Tyrese started singing on the back of a bus.
Yeah. They was there. Yeah, I was hateful. It was, Tyrese and Wesley Snipes brought back the dark-skin power.
Yeah. They gave us our power. So I was just kind of like, you know what? I want to do something different. I want to do something that's legacy building. And I wanted to also touch on mental health and also, you know, just do something like just that my parents could watch, your parents could watch, the kids could watch, and it wouldn't be offensive in any way.
What I want to say to you, and I'm going to open up to the panel, is one of the things I got out of the movie, how words are powerful and how we can view an individual and say certain things and it can sit with someone depending on how they look. Depending on how they dress, and there is that thing of the classic tale of the ugly duckling, because you never know what somebody could turn out to be. That's that particular storyline, without giving too much away. Was that derived? Because I could identify, in a way. Was that derived from personal experience or through conversations, Fred?
You know what? For me, it was a bit of like you touched hit the nail on the head. It was I call it the ugly duckling syndrome, and it was like a modern day version of that, but also a bit modern day. I remember when I was younger, my lips were big, innit? I used to have big lips, man, and my face was skinny. And I used to get teased, man. They used to call me Lipidocus and Lippity Doodah and bare names, innit? I remember it's Marga and big lips, you know what I'm saying? And as I got older, I grew into my lips, the face fell out, the body filled out a little piece. So I transformed. But when people say things, like you said, you don't know what effect it has on people. And we can tease people, we can cuss people and all this kind of stuff, but you don't know where their mind's at and what they hold on to. And so in watching that movie, you can see the journey that she went on from when she was younger to when she got older and how it affected her. So it was about giving people and empowering people and letting people know that words are powerful, man. Sometimes be careful what you say to people, because you just don't know what that will do for somebody. And I wanted to use that narrative in the story.
Denise, as a counselor point of view.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Let me just ask you, would you say there's a lot of people out there have got issues from school, because school can be brutal?
Absolutely. School bullying in schools, I hear that a lot in my practice. It's so wounding, as well as what you hear in the family home, you know, it takes place there as well. So yeah, I really loved that twist to it at the end. For myself, it was also really refreshing when someone said in the script about picky head. Yeah, because I got called that a lot, and that really wounded me. You know, I was the archetypal ugly duckling. That's my story, and the healing is testified about in my book Back to Love. But absolutely, this is your baggage you're going to bring into relationship. So if you haven't sorted through it, it's going to get acted out in the relationship.
Caz, what would you like to?
Yeah, I mean, I'm 100%. I'm in agreement with what Denise just said. And also in regards to what Fredi just shared about the big lips, I was teased about my big lips. I was teased about my forehead. And now, like, I shave my hair off because I embrace, like, my forehead is my greatest asset. but yeah, I was always trying to cover it up in the weaves, the wigs, etc., because of the things that had been said to me whilst I was growing up. So sometimes you even see, like with women, we mask ourselves up because of things. Alternatively, the narrative that we see on the television, do you know what I mean? Like what Fredi was saying in regards to like the light-skinned girls and things like that. We don't see enough of, like, say, dark-skinned women, etc., on the TV. So we think that we're not good enough, we're not beautiful, etc. So it was really refreshing to see that. But in regards to going back to what Denise and Fredi were saying in regards to like the lips and the words and things like that, it's so imperative that we make sure that, you know, be careful about the words that you're actually saying to somebody else, because you don't know the long-term damage it's going to have on that individual.
100%. Slim, how important is the message of love, as in Fredi's movie is portrayed, to be shown, especially from our communities?
Fredi was spot on when he said, if you look on TV, representation of black love is not there. Do you understand? In truth, any kind of relationship, if you judge by the big soaps, yeah, marriage and actually falling in love ain't a big thing no more. Do you understand? It's more everybody's doing their own thing, everybody's just linking, everybody's just, love and marriage isn't really promoted again.
Yeah.
Full stop, I think, in the community. Name one happy marriage in Soapland. Name one. Name a happy marriage. Say, yeah, they've been married for years and they just that. None.
Ethel and her dog in his tenders back in the day.
You're talking back in the day. Look at that. That's all 20 odd years ago.
Yeah, no, I don't watch it anymore. I watch it.
Yeah, they don't. And any kind of love thing or marriage thing on TV now, it's a mockery of. So you got Don't Tell the Bride, Married at First Sight. You think about these programs and how they push love together. It's weird. Even Love Island, it's not real. It's weird. So for Fredi to come along with something for us as well to show, look, this is really how things can run, you know. Yeah, it is 100% refreshing because, as I said, it's not there.
Fredi, I'm very interested to know when you finish the movie and you're pitching it, or you're pitching it to the mainstream or to different companies and all that. How did other production companies or film industries take to the storyline of Black Love?
You know what? It was mad, bro, to be honest with you, because I'd already had the foresight of knowing that, like I say, this is the first British romantic comedy with 2 black lead actors. So we've never had one before. So when I was writing, I was already in that zone, innit? So when I started to pitch to outside the US, outside the UK, they were like, oh, it's not a rom-com, it's not gonna work, it doesn't follow the general formula of romantic comedies and stuff like that. But I'm one of them people that, you know what I mean, I don't really do the whole if thing, I'm a how and when person. And I knew that it's something that we needed to see, do you know what I'm saying? So I got a little bit of fight first. And even today, some of the black organizations that I feel like could be pushing it more, not really pushing it, and they haven't been pushing it in the way that I would have expected them to, considering what it's about and who it's from. But it is what it is, man. And I crack on, and I thank everyone that's watched it on the platform tonight, but also on all the different channels. I mean, it's out in America right now under a different title called Love Spell, and it's on Amazon Prime out there, Fandango, iTunes, Sky. So it's worldwide. Do you know what I'm saying? So for me, I'm not going to let these other little production companies and distributors hold back greatness, man. Do you know what I mean? They're not going to stop the machine. Do you know what I'm saying? Like the machine that keeps going.
Did you pitch it personally? Did they see you? You know, my friend, you're quite big. You're quite. Yeah? Come and tell me, here's a romantic film. You can't sell me flowers. You're too big. You need a skinny man like me. And you can come. You look like you're straight out. Yeah, do you want a rom-com? The man saying,
you know what? This is the funniest thing. So I normally go to Caz every year to do what I'm doing. Do you know what I mean? And last year, because of the COVID thing, it was all done online. Do you know what I'm saying? You couldn't actually go. And it was one of the greatest things I've noticed, because when I went to Caz before, like you said, you can go in person and people feel threatened by your energy or by your confidence. When I sit down with people, you can't tell me rubbish because I know what I know in it. So when you're telling me and trying to sell me stuff, I'm like, it's like, no, because I know what I know. I don't need you to convince me, or I don't need justification because I know what I know. But when it came to last year now, because it was all done online, people had to take it for email value and for what they saw. And it's the first time in the industry, film industry, for many years where everyone was accessible. Nobody was too busy because everyone was on lockdown. Where was you?
Yeah.
You try to get a meeting and man say, no, I'm busy. No, you're not. Stop lying. You're at home. I know you're at home. You know what I mean? I'm ringing people and saying, can we have a Zoom meeting? Don't tell me you're too busy, bro, because I know where you are. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So it was the first time for years that was happening. So when I was pitching it out to everybody, they had to come back. They couldn't ignore me because I know you're at home. You never do. Do you know what I'm saying? So I got so many emails coming back from all distribution companies saying, yes, we want it. Yes, we want it. Yes, we'll take it. Yes, we'll distribute it. Like so many in the space of about 2 weeks, about 50 companies told me they wanted the film. So I just went with the one in the UK that I had more control over, because what I find with a lot of Black people, especially, we're happy to see our face on screens, but the business side is not taken care of. Like a lot of young actors, a lot of young musicians and so on, they're happy to have a song on iTunes. They're happy to be, oh, look, mum, look at my face. I want to, but hold on a minute. The back end, do you own your product? Do you own it? So I wanted to make sure that I retained my IP and made sure that I own, so I can pass it on to my children. Do you know what I mean? Legacy.
Yeah,
that's that Prince talk, man. That's that Prince talk. Own it. I'll tell you a quick story. So Nas came to Prince one day and asked for do a collaboration. And Prince looked at him, feminine Prince, looked at Nas, big Queen's rapper, and said to him, do you own your distribution? And he was like, no, I don't. He goes, well, come back to me when you own your stuff.
Exactly.
And what you're doing, and I think that what you just expressed about owning, it's so important to own what you've created, because it sets a precedent. And some industries might be intimidated like that, because we're not built that way, but obviously you have proved that. So let me put it out there to use the panel before we put it out there to the rest of the listeners. Right, Caz, let me ask you first. Describe a ideal relationship.
An ideal relationship. An ideal relationship would be myself. When I say myself, I mean, like, this is going to sound really crazy. I think we're so focused on finding love, or we want to be with somebody, etc. But can you accept yourself? Do you have your own relationship with yourself? Because you can't expect to latch yourself onto somebody else and you don't even love yourself. And this is what we're finding in society. There's so many people out there that doesn't actually have love for themselves, and they're expecting somebody to love them. You can't expect somebody to love you if you don't know how to love yourself. So that's going back to your question. The reason why I say the ideal relationship is with self, it has to start with self first, because that's the foundation. Yeah. So there's my answer.
Powerful.
Yeah, very good answer. Denise, why do you think a lot of women listen to people like Derek Jackson and Kevin, what's the brother's name?
I don't listen to Derek Jackson. I just put that out there now.
Same here.
Let me put that out there.
If you go on their lives, all I see is bare women on their lives. So they're clearly looking for something. So the question is, why do you think these men are so popular when it comes to talking about relationships and counseling the relationships, where they obviously been proven they're no good?
Okay, so these guys are Americans, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tanks.
So we need our British ones. We need our British old homegrowns. I get fed up of kind of looking to America as being the measuring stick. I don't know why they're so popular. Maybe because, like I said, we're still waiting to find our own heroes who's qualified in speaking on relationships. Following a bit from the question you've asked, Caz, I would say there's a quote that says, before marriage, 2 eyes open. After marriage, one eye closed. We do it the other way around in the dating world. We see things and we ignore it And then we get married and suddenly we can see everything and we're not happy. You know, get to know your people, get to know the person you're going to let into your heart, you know, get to know them. But know yourself first, know thyself, know yourself first.
Slim, do you know what I'm gonna ask? As in Denise was just saying about getting to know each other, getting to know yourself. How much do you think intimacy can too early can ruin a relationship, a potential relationship?
You know what? It depends on the individuals. If as the ladies both said, if you know yourself, because this is a lot of stuff that I read. I'm not qualified like you ladies, but you read stuff and you realize that people rush in, or sometimes people use a partner as a healing tool. It's like instead of I've heard that. Look, this is how it's supposed to go. You're supposed to find your happiness, who you are. The person's supposed to do that, and then when you meet, it's just an automatic thing. You're happy, they're happy. The union should go all right if you've got that match. But usually one person hasn't healed from something, they lock on to the other partner, whether it be male or male, woman or whatever. They lock onto each other and they suck the energy from that. Do you get what I mean? From that partner. Then they end up breaking up. Do you know what? As adults, I think now, looking back, coming up to 50, I think most adults at some point should spend 2 to maybe 3 years single. I know that sounds mad, but
no,
that's the time you get to know yourself. You know who you are, know what you want, know what your dreams are. You're not doing it because you've linked up with somebody. And, you know, as you say, once you do link up, you don't give away a part of yourself, but you make leeways in certain things. You plan together rather than single. So I think if you have that as an adult,
as a woman in the side giving you a side eye, what are you talking about?
I'm telling you. I just feel that from teenagers, we link up. As you finish one relationship, within a couple of months, some people weeks. They've seen somebody else, and you never get time for yourself. Once you have 2-3 years to yourself, you know what you want. If you ain't discovered yourself, then you ain't gonna discover yourself. As I said, I think 2 people meeting that know themselves are happy and content, and they meet. That union, if they're matched like that, should be a beautiful thing.
Denise, if I get to Fredi, do you describe anything about what kind of relationship you should look for in your book?
No, it's really like it's really like what Caz says about the relationship with yourself, and following on from what Slim said as well is very important. You have to get to know yourself. You've got to kind of, you know, be alive in your own life. So when you come together with someone else, then you're alive together. There's no feeding off each other, you know. So no, my book's really about, you know, change, you know, and my waking up to the part I was playing in choosing relationships that wasn't so good for me, you know, and owning that. And I think our experiences teaches, you know, we're supposed to leave a relationship and understand what went wrong. So you've got information going into the next one. A lot of us don't do that. We go from one situation to the next. We just change players, but it's the same story all the time, you know.
Fredi, do you want to pick up on that?
Yeah, no, I agree. I totally agree. I totally agree. I thought you were going to ask me that question, but it's not my book. So I agree.
So, as in relationships, we tend to do go across to the Americans, as in for relationship advice and so to speak. And one of the things about the movie, it was, I would say, the target audience was for grown people. How do young people perceive your movie, Fredi?
You know what?
Our children's age generation.
Yeah, man. I mean, my son's in the movie. Yeah. And you know what I'm saying? And some people are like, Fredi, I didn't realize your son was playing the younger version of you. You know what I'm saying? So some people didn't get it. And so I feel like the way that relationships have changed over the years, it's really testimony, if you like, to where the film went. Because if you look back at our older generations and our parents, they would stick out all kinds of things, man. They'd be together and sleep in separate beds if they had to, but they still stick together. Do you know what I mean? They still make it work. Now with social media and peer pressure, relationships are very easy to just, like Slim said, just move on to the next one. Yeah. So I found with this movie, young people that have watched it more from it's jokes, it's funny. But the older generation have watched it and actually got more of the storyline, the fact of a damaged woman. So many women have messaged me saying, right, Fredi, that was me. That was me. And I know guys that have watched it and I've identified with Trayvon Kane's character, whereby we've come up being a certain way. And I can hold my hand up. There was a time when I was, I guess, being a certain way and not really looking at how I might treat somebody or say things to them, because you're caught up in your own little bubble. And so therefore you might diss somebody, not meaning to hurt them, but it's like, nah, me, you and me. Nah, man, it's all right, allow it. You know what I mean? When you're younger, but not realizing that you could have just broken that person's confidence and destroyed their thought process, and then you move on thinking you're cool and doing what you're doing, and that woman now, that young girl, goes into life feeling unloved, unbeautiful, feeling like she's worthless, and so on and so on. So it even taught me a lot in writing the film about how maybe some of the things I used to do that weren't so cool. So yeah.
Now ask the panel, what's the longest relationship not you personally, but you know of?
What do you mean,
family or friends? The longest, like, together?
Oh, yeah. For me, it would be my parents. My parents has been together for, gosh, about 40 years, 39 to 40 years now. And it hasn't been easy for them, like most relationships. But I think it was Fredi that touched on it in regards to, I think it was either Fredi or yourself when you said about parents, staying together, even if it means that they sleep in another room. It's a culture difference. We got to remember, living in the UK is completely different to, say, like being in the Caribbean, being in Africa, etc. The culture is so different, where we've adapted into a culture that's not even really ours. Do you understand what I'm saying? I know I'm kind of like going off what you're saying in terms, in terms of relationship, it's just so different. And I think nowadays people struggle to commit to each other. Some people don't even want to commit to themselves, much more less commit to a man or a woman. So there is a problem right there. But I do generally believe if anybody that's watching and you are dating somebody, it's about collecting data, finding out who that person is. It's the same way like you go for a job interview. Collect information, do your research on this individual. Is this person going to be compatible for me or not? But sometimes we look at the surface, oh, he looks buff, she looks crisp, and we go there not knowing anything about that individual. And then later on, bam, it all pops up in your face. But your whole purpose of dating is to collect information, is data. You're doing your research. Don't get caught up in the moment, do you know what I mean? And the reason why I say that is because I can vouch for myself. I've done things back to front. But at the same time, one thing I will say is when I had a certain relationship, I remember being with somebody and they told me the reason why they finished with me is because one minute they had this strong, beautiful girlfriend, the next minute she was completely weak. They just didn't know how it was going to be. But I had to then look into that deeper later on to find out that I've got borderline personality disorder. So I'm an emotionally unbalanced, and that's what certain mental health issue has. But if he hadn't said that to me, would I've really, taken that on board? Would I've pushed it further, looked into myself, etc.? And it also explains your behavior in certain things. So, it's important that we start dating ourselves.
100%. Slim, you want to pick up on that?
Say that again.
Would you like to pick up on what Caz was saying about? I know your parents were together for a long time, like mine.
Yeah, but because my mum passed 84, dad 93. Yeah, relationships, you've got to work at them, not at anything else, man. I mean, you ask, as Caz said, her parents, and they'd be married 40 years. But if you ask them the little bits where they fell out, this and that, it might amount to 2-3 years out of the 40, that they just didn't get on. But you stick it out. 6 months here, a year here, because it's usually the man fuck up in it.
Correct.
But That's what I'm saying. You've got to stick it out. Now, the first sign of problems, they're off. As you say again, it's about knowing who you're linking up with in the first place.
Yeah.
I find we're much more cautious with money commitments than relationship commitments. You wouldn't go out. You wouldn't go out.
That's got a spirit.
Look, there's a lot of people, and I'm not just with women, there's a lot of people out there, they're having kids just willy-nilly and all that off each other. And then they break up and the kid suffers. Do you think, hang on, would you have just got a mortgage with this person? Because a mortgage, I'll sign up the mortgage and you just make sure, although he looks irresponsible, he's in the bookies all the time, you're going to sign him up for a mortgage and expect him to make the monthly payments. And when he don't, you're upset. But he's always in the bookies. You understand what I'm saying? So I feel in money stuff, we are much more cautious and thoughtful in the process than we are sometimes with relationships. Caz said, outside they look wicked. Boom. That's all we need. Signed up.
Fredi, do you think Trey, the character, had a very, very good job? And the lady done a job which was more caring in the community and stuff like that. Do you think that status can upset the rhythm of a relationship?
Do you know what? I think it does when people don't know themselves. If you, do you know what I mean? Like, because you have guys that, for example, if you're dating with a woman who earns more than you, for example, yeah, and you're intimidated by that, then it's a problem for you. But that's not her problem. That's a you problem. Because I don't make no one intimidate me. Ain't nobody intimidating me. I don't care how much money you earn, what you do. I've never been a person intimidated by nobody. I'm not built like that. So it becomes a status problem when you don't know yourself. Do you know what I'm saying? And it goes both ways. If a woman feels a certain way and the man's earning all the money and then the woman's feeling worthless because she's not earning as much, but that's not really a him problem. That's a her problem that she needs to solve within herself. So I think status is only an issue when you have an issue.
Ladies, let me ask you both before you put it out there to the public. Have you had issues when you've earned more than the man? Has it become an issue in the relationship?
Not for me, no.
No. Not for me. You know, it's about a person's character and their heart and whether they have a purpose and a passion and, you know, whether they love life, love the community. It's never about money, you know. Self-value is priceless.
I agree 100%.
Yeah. Do you know what I do find, from what I've heard, the conversations have been spoken about in the barbers and hairdressers, and that is that a woman don't mind a man who's got a lesser job as long as he's a trier.
Yeah.
Right.
And we must support a brother. And that's
is there a limit to your try? So me, Slim, and Fredi, like, we are self-employed for the longest while. So in this last year, our money was like shit. So if we was living either of used to, that you would be the support network. So
absolutely.
I've been in that position. I've been in that position.
Yeah.
It gets to that point. Yeah, okay, but it gets to that point is there like a cut-off point where you say, look, you might need to try something else because the jokey jokes ain't really cutting it right now?
There is a cut-off point if the person don't have a vision, a mission, a love for something, you know, a reason to get up in the morning, you know, even if it's just to create the perfect home environment, who's ever creating it, you know, we don't live in a man and woman's work. We live in a work we do together, you know. When one can't do something, we pick up the slack. Well, it's teamwork, isn't it? It's teamwork. Yeah. Okay,
that's all good. That's all good. Now I'm gonna put it out there to the rest of the public. Any kind of questions? So if there's any, just go through some of the questions we've got here. Hi all, nice to see you. A lot of people are feeling she's the one that felt the movie, which is great. How many times did you got Benny laughing there? I Benny laughed quite a few bits. You know, I Benny laughed a bit. I barely laughed because we know Kane's character, and I know there was a few ad-libs in there.
Yeah.
The venom remark.
Yeah. In the gym.
In the gym.
But see, that's the beauty of working with comics, man. And I need to get you in one of my movies, Quincy, man. That's the beauty of working with comics, because you write, but you can also allow them a little bit of creative freedom to bring what they can bring to it, man.
You know how many times I got in trouble on set for saying some head top stuff, and the guy's got to rewrite it. And the other bit was Judy. It wasn't even the lyrics. It was more of their actions. It was more of their persona and their actions, which really made me belly laugh. So let me put some questions here to you guys. This is from Evander. To everyone, so glad you pursued your dreams, Fredi. A brilliant, funny and thought-provoking movie.
Thank you.
Here, someone's agreeing with you, Caz. Here, Caz. He has nothing to say that I'm interested in. That was an earlier conversation. There was someone's agreed with you, Denise. Someone's saying that we need UK ones. I'm assuming they are referring to the relationship coaches. Do you think that? Hang on a minute, Fred. Is Vanessa Fells a relationship coach?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if she's a coach, but I know she deals with Vanessa. She's a therapist per se. I don't know whether she's actually a coach, but I know she does a lot of stuff dabbling around relationships, man. So, but I don't know what her actual title is.
Yeah.
Yeah, goes. Yeah. She's done that pretty well. Let me go. So let me just put it out there to anybody who wants to ask any questions. Feel free to do so. Do you know? I thought I was on the radio, and then they gave it a telephone number. Put me on 0. Right. I said, who was it? Who wrote the line for the women in the speed dating? Who wrote the lines for the women in the speed dating, Fredi?
I did. I wrote the whole script.
The whole
Okay.
thing.
Yeah, I wrote the whole script, man. The only bits that I didn't write in it were a few of the ad-libs, which you mentioned. I had a guy called Simon Battersby, who's also got involved as well and done some little bits and pieces and read over it for me, because he's a genius when it comes to writing and little quirky stuff. But yeah, most of it, the majority of it I wrote.
This is from Barrington. It says, people don't recognize the traits and qualities of each that each possesses and how we carry these things everywhere they go. So externally, factors are only temporary, but what you have inside is ever there. That's from Barrington. Do you agree with anybody agree with that?
Yeah, true.
This is for Fredi. When's the next movie?
Wow. So I've just finished a new movie called On the Other Foot. It's about a racist white man who goes to sleep white and he wakes up black. And he's stuck in a black body.
Boris Johnson movie then, yeah?
He's stuck in a black body for 72 hours, and it stars Ori Styler, Peter Andre, Lady Leisha, Tim Faraday, Castillo, Curtis Walker, Judith Jacobs, loads of them. So we've just finished that film, and that should be out maybe towards the end of the year. I've done that in a response to the Black Lives Matter. When everyone was marching, I was like, okay, so you're only going to march for so long, right? But when you stop marching, then what happens?
Yeah.
So I thought, let me make a movie that will last forever. So our kids and our kids' kids and our kids' kids' kids can always watch this movie and deal with racism in a way which is palatable. Do you know what I'm saying? It's funny, but it's got a strong message.
Yeah.
Another question here. Would you write more rom-coms or do more horror after the Ortega?
Other Foot. I think it's meant to put Other Foot.
I
Is that a spelling?
I thought it was a new movie, the Ortega Foot. Yeah, after the Other Foot.
Yeah, I mean, I've got 7 films written, man. I'm in the middle of pitching a TV show to Sky. I'm working on another project with Kane later. And I've just been given the rights to do Donald Jones's life story. So I'm working with Donald Jones and I'm writing Donald Jones's biopic about his life called Players in the Hood. So me and Donald Jones are working on that. There's loads. I'm not going to go in a little box and be a horror writer or a comedy writer. And I don't make films. I don't even make films. I just tell stories.
Yeah, yeah.
Let me ask.
Oh,
So
sorry.
go on, Caz. Go on, Caz.
And that's Freddie. That's Donald Jones, the singer, right?
Yeah,
R&B
yeah.
singer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I thought it was Donald Jones from Stoke Newton. I said, I know. From Stokey. Don't know. Let me ask you all, the panel, this question. So, in the movie, there was a lot of British talent. We're all familiar with faces and that, and like the Slim and others. But a lot of our British talent goes over to America. So, with the current views of views like Dr. Umar Johnson and recent successes of Daniel Kaluuya and Damson Idris, Idris Elba, and many others, can you see that change of our talent staying here and nurturing here, or do you think they still got to go to America to bust? That's to anybody in the panel will answer that.
So you know what it is, Hollywood. We've grown up watching films, movies, the biggest TV shows, and don't get me wrong, we've got our own homebred stuff. Do you know what I mean? But the biggest movies, usually comes out Hollywood. That's why we've got this thing with Hollywood. It's like the mecca for filmmaking, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Because you got Nollywood, you got Bollywood, you got other, you know what I mean, film industries out there. But Hollywood, once you're made it Hollywood, you've made it around the world. Idris, went over there. I mean, he was doing his thing here, but he went over there, done The Wire. When he come back, for some reason, you just held a god. I think it's like that with everything, where if you go where it's the mecca and you do well there.
You know what it is? You know what it is? What I say, America catches, when America sneezes, the UK catches the cold.
Yeah.
And anything that is big in the US becomes big in the UK. And that's everything, even down to music, it's down to fashion. If it's big in the US, we're so dumb that we automatically think, oh, wow, if it's big over there, it must be big over here. But Africa is got a much bigger market than the US.
Well,
but yeah, if it's big in Africa, we don't rate it as much. Whereas, do you know what I'm saying? So we're so mentally behind when it comes to this whole thing. Like,
well,
it's only now, younger generation.
It's what we've been brought up with as well.
That's right.
It is.
If we've been brought up with Nollywood movies, I would most probably lean towards that. If I was brought up with Bollywood movies, the fact is, I think the first film I watched at the cinema when I was 6, which is the fridge now, but that was a cinema in Brixton when I was young, was Superman. That's an American film. And then I went on to watch other big movies that were from America. I grew up with stuff like Dallas. Do you understand? We've grown up with a lot of stuff that is American. So it's not because we don't want nothing to do with Africa. I'd love to support that. Do you know what I mean? As soon as the sound engineers sort out their volume levels on some of them, I don't know if you watch the Nollywood Movie Boy, but they turn up the volume to 100, bro. So it's not, I will support anywhere that needs supporting, but the fact is that America, where the film industry is, I ain't saying they make better films out of people, but they've done enough over the years to warrant that attention. McDonald's is not the best burger place in the world, but they've done enough promotion and marketing that, you know what I mean? You lean towards that, even though it ain't the best burger. It's just a natural ingrainedness. They've ingrained us with it over the years. Just what we've seen on the TV.
Denise, your book. Where can people get your book?
Amazon, Waterstones, Book Depository. Here it is. It's Back to Love. I've put my link there in the chat as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just to add, I think we are definitely living in unprecedented times, and the world is calling for us to change in really significant ways. Definitely. So I look forward to a time where we have our own grown here in terms of films, in terms of writers, in terms of activists. I'm really fed up of kind of us looking to America and other places when we have so much talent here. So much.
100%. But also, if someone's got a message and it's a right message, then I will listen to it. Doesn't matter where it comes from. Do you understand?
Yeah.
That don't mean I lean towards these people, but if someone says something and it makes sense, I'm not going to say I'm not going to listen to him because you're American. Because then it comes in a bit like that British white thing they got with, oh, he's a Yank and he's a. I've never understood that. They all come from Europe, and they just seem to have a little edginess. Oh, he's a Yank, he's a limey kind of thing. If someone says something and it sounds right, I don't care where he's from. I'll say, all right, that sounds like. But at the moment, you're right. We do need our homegrown. I think we do have our own homegrown. It's just that they don't get the same exposure. Do you know what I mean? Don't think there's no activists in Britain.
No, yes, they're there.
It's just the exposure. That's all it is, the exposure.
Yeah. And I also think a platform where we can all come together, because we're all doing different things, but we need to come together and know what the other one is doing and build up from there.
Yeah. I agree with you, but I think that's why it's being purposefully created in a way that we are against each other. And we got to look at colonization in terms of, when you think about us in, within UK, there's only a small percentage of us as Black people in the UK anyway. When you look across the pond, you look at, say, Africa, you look at, say, the United States of America, is a larger proportion of Black people living in those parts of the world in comparison to us over there. And our institution of racism is it's so subtle in a way that over there, it's like, it's almost as if, we've kind of like been spoiled in this country to a certain extent, where we don't have to push as hard. In the US, they have to push hard. Their life depends on it. We make a lot of excuses within the UK. That's why people like Fredi, I put my hand up, I salute him as a brother, because it takes a certain kind of individual to be able to push forward and do what they're doing. And the more of us that looks at people like Fredi, what he's doing, like yourself, Quincy, like yourself, Slim, even yourself, Denise, the more of us doing these kind of things, because we've all got a story, we've all got talents, but it's really pressed into that and just not keep on going for continuously staying in that slave mentality way of doing things. Do you understand what I'm saying? So we need to become pushing into our talents and our gifts, because that's what's really going to make it for us. But we're just not leaning on it because we've been oppressed to think and to believe and do things in a certain way.
Yeah.
Fredi's spoke about ownership earlier on, and he's from we're the same age. We both. You're 50 yet, Fredi?
Yeah, I was 50. I was 50 about 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. Oh, okay, then. So yeah, I just beat you to the post. But we're from that generation where we wanted to be accepted with its music, fashion, movies-wise, and you find with the younger generation, they just get out and do it, but there isn't no talks of ownership or structure. You know what I mean? So how could you, as an elder, help out our younger individuals to get them in that right way of speaking, not just in front of the camera, but being behind the camera?
I mean, for me, I do a lot of behind the camera stuff. I do a lot of workshops with young people, going to schools, prisons and stuff like that, and do a lot of talks. But it's just very important to be in a situation where you have control, and you got to look at you got to look at it like it's your own life. I mean, would you, for example, have a house that someone could take away from you at any point? It wouldn't make no sense. Do you know what I'm saying? So with a lot of young people, it's about understanding that if you value what you are doing to a certain point or to a certain degree, and other people can see value in it, why would you then give it to them to make money off of it when you can do it yourself? Everything that you see in that film, I had a lot of people telling me, oh, Fredi, you can't do this. Fredi, you can't do that. Fredi used to be a rapper. Oh, Fredi, you was a bodyguard. That film, I wrote it, I directed it, I produced it, I cast it, I went out and got the money for it, and I went out and sold it, all because somebody said that I couldn't. And the point being, doing it all on my own, it's not the best way to do it, but it's allowed me to have my hats in so many different things. So now I understand. And a lot of young people, like I said, they're happy just to see their face on YouTube or have their friends say to them, oh, wow, bro, that's bad, you know? But the bottom line of it is that after that fades, someone telling you that you're good won't feed your kids. Or someone saying to you, you know what, oh, well done, is not gonna pay your mortgage. So people have to get into the notion of understanding that it is a business, and the more you have the back end sorted out, the better the front end will become, and not the other way around. It's not always about the glossy, it's what goes on behind the doors, which is more important than the actual, what you see on the outside. And everyone that's watching, make it a priority in your children's lives, man. Even if they're going to college, they want to be runners, they want to be sports people, whatever it is, make sure that they own the intellectual property, make sure their management's on point, make sure their legals are on point, or else you end up like groups like TLC, who on the face of everything, look like they're making millions and millions, all these tours, but back end, they've got no money.
Yes, it took us back there, boy.
I'm disabled.
I remember that speech.
I remember as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's real. There's a lot of people. I mean, I can name so many artists out there that if we was to go back, they looked like they were making millions. And then when you actually look at it now, you realize that no, they weren't making millions, but their management was, and their labels were. And it's only because someone came along, they signed the paperwork, they owned everything, and then threw them out there as the face of everything. So it's important to negotiate, man. Make sure you sit in those meetings, make sure you get your paperwork, you take it to be looked over, make sure that you've always got someone watching your back.
Yeah, hashtag Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, exactly, another one.
Dave Chappelle. He just popped in. I want to ask you all, how important is it for the platform we are on now, Kush Films, from what Marlon's aiming to do with his online cinema, and how important is it to have someone of himself promoting these kind of movies and other movies as well?
You know what? I'll be honest with you, right? And I said it the other day on the radio. Basically, when obviously I've made a film every year for the last 10 years, right? And I've made three full-length feature films. And I've found that we've never had no platform or no hub, which is a place that we can go to watch and find films that is consistent. Now, it's all about owning. So that's why I've set up my production company. I'm setting up Nwaka Studios. It's about owning. So what he's done, he's created something which is legacy now, because it means we now have a place to go to watch and see people like us. Do you know what I'm saying? And we have control of our own narrative. It's not every day you put on BBC, like you said, you put on the BBC, like what Slim said, you turn on the BBC and we're not seeing what we want to see. We're seeing what we're forced to see. Hence why it's called a program. They programming us to watch what they want us to see. But this is a platform where we actually get to see what we want to see. People that look like us. Not always people in prison, not always people that are, do you know what I mean, drug dealers. There's so many stories that come out of the Black community. And I think what Marlon's done with this platform, to me, is groundbreaking. And I think everyone needs to get behind it, support it. I, for one, know that when I was trying to get this film out there, yes, I've got it on Amazon, I've got it on Sky, I've got it on iTunes, I've got it on all those big corporate platforms, but I'm not disillusioned. They put it on there because they know people are going to watch it. It's going to make money. But Marlon is the only person who reached out to me and was like, Fredi, you know what? Let me put it on my platform. Let me show you some love. You know what I'm saying? And it's important that we start loving each other, man, and not just what can we get out of it. Let's show each other love, and let's, you know what I mean, and grow together.
Before bring on Marlon, Audrey Murray and the girls, we've seen ya, too late. I like that, turn off the camera, turn it off. Anyway, all right, let me ask you guys this, yeah? Bar, She's the One, when was the last rom-com love story you watched, you really enjoyed? British or American?
I don't know. I'm not really a rom-com man. I'm not really a rom-com man. Do you know what I mean? That's not usually my genre. I'm not saying I won't watch one. I watched it because number one, I'm in it. Number two, it's Fredi's film. You know what I mean? So you got to support either way. But is it usually a genre that I go to, a film? No. Why would I lie? I like it.
And you know what, Slim? I'm like you. I don't watch rom-coms, you know. It's not something that I really watch either. But I'm about going against the grain. That's why I did it, because no one else was doing it.
That's right. It don't mean because we don't. That means you're right. Your audience is male, female. So yeah, there's people out there, male or female, that like rom-com.
Yeah,
so because
I'm gonna name two, but go on.
Now, I used to like watching rom-coms. I don't anymore. But if it's a rom-com with of a love relationship between Black people, I would go out my way to watch it because I need to see more of that. The other stuff it's not really relatable to me because you don't live happily ever after.
Notting
You work
Hill.
together to live happily ever after.
You never like Notting Hill with Julia Roberts and.
Look how long ago that was. The last rom-com I watched was Shrek.
Nowadays I'm into watching things that I can identify with and relate to.
Well, what about you, Caz? What's the last one stuck out for you?
To be quite honest, I like a mixture of all different types of films, like all different genres. But I tend to, I do like some romance, of course, but the last movie I guess would be Just Right.
That's who?
Yeah, Just Right. I like the twist to it, and that was it. So yeah.
Who's in that?
Oh.
Who's in it?
Who's that? Is that American?
Common and Queen Latifah.
Oh, yeah. I watched that.
But this is the thing, and what what I love the fact is that all the films we're talking about are all American. So, can someone name me a British one other than mine?
Yeah. I was just about to.
I said Notting Hill.
No, not a Black British one. No, we definitely need more of them. I really do believe that. Yeah.
Burning Illusion. That was a Malik Shabazz. It wasn't a love story, but it had the journey of a man who fell in love and turned dread, and fell in love with another dread. With who was in it? Victoria Evans. Victoria Evans. But British wines. Yeah. I mean, my ultimate rom-com is Love Jones. So.
Okay.
And because if Neil Long one in it, I ain't watching it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, anyway. Marlon, is he in the building?
Yeah.
Looking like Super Cat. His hat.
Where is he? I can't see him.
He's up there, looking like he's coming from Reggae Sunsplash.
Oh, stop it.
I know exactly.
You heard it.
Reggae Sunsplash in my yard. You hear me?
We can hear you. We can hear you, Nicodemus.
We're players there.
Funny as you say that. I was just listening to some reggae on Rampage, was on BBC One Extra today, and yeah, they were playing some of them old school reggae. Nicodemus for real. I used to like Nicodemus. Actually, used to be one of my favorite.
Go rest his soul.
Huh?
Go rest his soul, mate.
Yeah, for real.
So.
Yeah, so this is a real nice conversation. It's good to see my brother Slim, my brethren Fredi, my sister Denise, and my now good friend Caz. And it's a great panel, great mix, and I see people are enjoying the discussion after the great film, and I'm really glad that I could bring this to the public. I'm here, absolutely slaughtered, knackered, tired. I can just about sit, you know what I mean? And I ain't putting on my glasses, so it's somewhere around. But yeah, so I'm just looking forward to a nice rest tomorrow and the rest of this week. I don't know, it may be the whole week. It's been a big, hard push to push this film for the last 3-4 weeks, basically. I really like to thank everyone, the 175 plus people who bought tickets. It was really fantastic. Not everyone came onto the Q&A, but we did. I was really pleased. I surpassed the benchmark that I had set for what I wanted, and I'm really pleased about it. So I will be opening a bottle of wine tonight and be laying in my bed watching some.
Make sure it's red and it's a Merlot.
Yeah.
Make sure that the wine is red and it's a Merlot. It's from Chile.
I only drink red wine, and it's It won't be Merlot though. I don't like Merlot.
Merlot's the one, mate.
It'd be Shiraz or Cabernet, my friend.
Merlot, that's a soprano drink, mate.
Merlot is one of the first red wine that I drank when I came to the film business, and that's how I started drinking red wine. Because in the film business, you go to all the after screenings, it's always red wine and white wine, and I've been in the game so long now, I've become a red wine connoisseur. So but I remember when I went to America, to a big film festival in America, Urban World Film Festival. And one of the first red wines I drank was Merlot. And I don't know, from then, I just don't like Merlot. I've never been a fan of Merlot. Cabernet, Shiraz, and some of the mixes, and Malbec, but I don't know, for some reason, I'm not a fan of Merlot. But anyway,
because you're a guy with the elders, I thought you'd say like red label wine or something like that.
Oh my, no. Hey,
Mackeson's.
hey, you know, Jamaicans put red wine in the fridge, innit? But anyway.
I know. Cuss if I see that. Get out!
You know that, innit? Slim. But yeah, just big thank you to everyone who came out and supported us again, came and support our new platform. I don't know what you called it, Quincy. I think I heard something before. It's called My Screen Hub, myscreenhub.com.
I didn't quit anything. I just said it's your platform. Because I forgot. I ain't gonna lie to you. I forgot.
I know.
And that was my. I would have said MySpace.
But yeah, again, you know, Fredi was talking about the lockdown, and it was during the lockdown that you know, I kind of made up my mind. Well, from last year, I've been talking to a lot of people and been mentioning this as well about ownership. We need to start owning our own SHIT. You know what I mean? And this is what I'm really planning to do now. Build my own, have my own. I'm not going to waste my time chasing money just to get paid. You know, yeah. I want to build my own and actually offer a fantastic service to my community, and I get paid that way by them responding and reciprocating to what I'm giving to them, and they give me back. If they're not happy with what I'm giving them, then I know I'm going to know about it. I'm going to have to do better. So, you know, My Screen Hub is the first phase of what I'm doing. Many people, I'd like to send an even bigger thank you to all those who actually made an extra donation, and so many did as well. And that extra donation is going to help us move on to phase 2. Phase 2 is now building a fully blown online cinema that, you know, people can go on and just watch new films, classic films. You know, also we'll be able to make our own original content. And I want to be working with people like Fredi, definitely with Slim, Quincy, and you know, we start producing our own content, whether that's short films, feature films, talks, you know, master classes. You know, because we can now, once we have the platform, we can do our own master classes for the younger generation, how to navigate the film industry, how to navigate comedy, how to do lighting, how to do sound, you know, all of these kind of stuff, how to do talk shows. So I can come to people like Caz, even my sister Denise, and we can, you know, produce our own content. And this is what I want to create, a whole library and catalog of our own content to go with the mainstream films, to go with the independent films, and to go with short films, the whole lot, basically. This is what I'm working night and day, tirelessly for, you know? So thank you once again to everyone who made donations. Really, really appreciate that. And, you know, we're on our way, basically. We're on our way. Also, don't forget, we still have the GoFundMe page up. So anyone who just bought the normal ticket and now you feel like you want to make a little small donation, you can go to the GoFundMe page. It's on myscreenhub.com. We also can email it to you as well. So if you want to send an email to info@kushfilms.com, Kush, Kush films.com, then we can send you the GoFundMe link as well. You can support that. It's going to be going on for a while. So even if you can't do it now, maybe you can do it next week or even the week after. That would be so greatly appreciated. It's going to go towards building something for our community and giving back, and also helping young aspiring filmmakers, people who want to get into the media sort of industries. Okay, so thank you once again.
So I've got to stop you there. Do you know when people say it's going to go back into the community, what does that mean?
it means by giving. Well, for me, I can always.
No, not you. But what is it? No, not you. But
yeah,
that could mean. Oh yeah, I'm gonna go and buy a patty and Auntie Betty. What does that mean?
Well, people know me already, and a lot of the people who supported me, they know for 23 years I've been giving to my community, so they know exactly, because they've been coming to my events, and they know my events have been put on specifically for them to enjoy themselves, and the pleasure I get out of it, as an exhibitor, a film exhibitor, is standing at the back of the cinema and hearing people and hearing their cries, their groans, their moans, their laughters, their yeah, or their ooh, or whatever. And just that feeling as an exhibitor, that is everything to me. And that's what I get out of it. I mean, why? I tell you, I ain't rich right now. So I've been doing this 23 years. So it's not the money.
You're rich in spirit, mate. You're rich in spirit, man.
Well, I understand riches. I've grown to understand that I've matured. Like you said, I'm an elder now. I'm a big man. So, you know what I mean? I understand that it's not just about the money. The money is a byproduct of everything else. The money will come at the end of the day. So hopefully, maybe in 10 years, I will, you know, it'll be a different story.
Well, Morgan
now,
Freeman won his Oscar at over 50 years old. So there's still time for you.
Listen, there's always hope, and I'm always pushing on. And at the end of the day, as I, you know, one of my mottos is that, you know, when the day comes for me, when the day comes, I want to be caught climbing up the next hill, not sliding down an old hill. So, you know, I'm always on the go. I'm always trying to move forward, and I'm always pushing, regardless. Nothing can stop me. Nothing is in my way. The only thing that really is going to stop me from achieving what I want to achieve is the man upstairs, Father God, when he decides that it's time to leave this place. But otherwise,
or woman.
Well, no. Not even that.
Let's not get on to that subject.
They don't start that one.
Another film.
Yeah, I'm just sitting here telling it right.
No, whoever that woman is going to be, she's not there right now, but she's going to be there for on the journey.
All right, Trey. Well done, Trey. All right, look. What, are we still here? Because Match of Day 2's on soon.
Oh.
So tonight, mate, 10:30.
Now, I'm proud of. Well done, Marlon. Like I said, everybody on this panel, I mean, we're all doing our thing, and Denise picked it up. We're all so talented in what we're doing and in our disciplines, and there's no reason why we shouldn't be sharing our talents on your platform. And whatever we got on.
Sorry, there's one thing I thought to say. While we still got people here, because I just wanted to find out, but I will send an email as well. But I know sometimes people afterwards, they don't respond. But if you could quickly just tell me, because I'm just trying to find out what things worked and what didn't work. So if people can just quickly tell me, put in the chat quickly, how did you hear about the film, the event tonight, hear about the film? So if you can put in like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or through our email database or whatever, please let me just get a few comments from people about how you heard about the event tonight. Thank you. Go on, Quincy. Yes, sorry.
Someone put Chinese guy.
What, you trying to say Fredi's films on DVD? Is it already? Is it? Friends. Okay, a lot of friends. That's good. Word of mouth. Email. Friends. I know the things I'm asking, because there is a lot of names that I don't recognize, and there's a lot of people that bought today that I normally recognize the names, and I always made it a practice over many years to recognize my customers' names and my patrons' names. But there were quite a lot of new names, and I really, really appreciate that. And a lot of them also, as I said, donated extra. They bought a higher price ticket. So God bless. Thank you.
Yeah, someone's put radio on here as well, so this is quite good.
Also, who was that? Supreme. Which radio station? What radio station?
Supreme Radio.
Oh, Supreme.
Yeah,
Okay.
they've been going for a long time, Supreme.
Did anyone hear it on the beat? That's where I paid the most money.
No.
Let's let people know what everybody's up to before we head out.
Yeah, go on.
You know, hey.
I said that's where I spend the most money, you know.
Yeah. So I can cut them out, innit?
Research.
Slim, before we leave, what you got coming up?
I've got later on this year, as long as they don't shut us down again, I'll have a tour late October, beginning November, just finalizing the dates and stuff. And yeah, I'll be back out on the mostly the mainstream, because as you know, I've signed to Up the Creek. Which is, yeah,
I tell you.
Yeah. So at the moment, don't get me wrong, my black audience will still see me, but at the moment, I'm now on what they call class is the next push, next level.
Mate, get that Elon Musk money, man. Get that money. I'm on it. I got my first gig on Thursday.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to talk about. You know what I mean? But yeah.
Hey, you better get that ready for Sunday, bro, as well.
No, I'm good for Sunday because I talked to my about it's when you're out there, it's a different kind of vibe. I'm going to be in a comedy club. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm good for Sunday. Trust me, I'm good for Sunday. What about you, Caz? What are you up to?
So tomorrow I'm on an Instagram live with Be Yourself Exquisitely. We're going to be talking about mental health. And Wednesday, I've got my normal Instagram live. And on Friday at iLive Radio between 4 and 7 p.m.
Is it just one day a week you're on the iLive?
Yeah, just one day a week on Fridays, do the drive time.
I'm going to talk to your management, give you more shows. I've heard your show now, so you need more shows.
Okay, thank you.
Denise?
Hold on. Yeah. Caz, tell everyone where to find you on Instagram.
Oh yeah, on Instagram it's Now Chat Show UK. So you just Google Now Chat Show UK, and basically on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, all the social media, you'll see all our content there. And then of course, iLive Radio.
We got Jarzino.
Yeah, Jarzino, big up man Jarzino and Jason as well.
Denise?
Yeah, get me book, Back to Love. It's really, if I say so myself, a really life-changing read. Yeah, plus we need to support each other in our pursuits. Also, I'm going to have another book coming out December, and I'm also working with my partner to create his story to bring out for the male side of the struggle, you know, and the realizations of dreams.
What platform can they purchase from, Denise? What platform?
Amazon, Waterstones, my website, innersideout.net. All my information is there.
Just put the link in the group.
Yeah, it's all in the chat as well. Yeah.
And I will say this to you publicly, Denise. I will get your details from our mutual friend Marlon. I'll bring you on the radio and push the book as well.
Thank you so much. It's a good one.
Yeah, he looks it. Fredi, where you up to, my friend?
Oh wow. So straight after this, at 9 o'clock on my Instagram, I've got my Instagram live show called Grief, which stands for Getting Rid of Irritable Emotional Feelings. And I deal with mental health, stress in the community. And I just go live and talk to people. So anyone that's on the Instagram, come on to my live at 9 o'clock. This coming Sunday, I've got my big birthday event, man, a drive-in comedy show. Everyone was like, look, we want to do something safe. So I'm having a big comedy show down in North London. It's drive-in comedy. I've got comedy from Kane Brown, of course, Quincy, Orby Styler, A.Comedian, Abs Truth. Also performances from Carol Thompson and Donny, and a live little music set from Fifth Avenue. So if you fancy getting out this weekend, somewhere that's safe, it's a driving show, so you're safe in your cars. Go to my Instagram page, and the link is in my for tickets is in my bio, and you can get all the information. VIP sold out, most of it's sold out now. But if you're interested, go to my Instagram page, and you can get all the information from the link in my bio. So that's me over the next week or so.
Before I hand you to Marlon and say bye, I want to push this out there. So this book here is called A Place for Me: Stories About the Windrush. I'm one of 12 authors who wrote stories about our Windrush generation. It's my first one I've done. And there's going to be more stuff to follow. Slims knows the journey. And I wrote it, my story is called Made to Measure, about a young man who came from Barbados and wanted to be a tailor. So I just adapted the story, and this is going to be out in the schools. And also it's going to be, I'll send you the link, Caz. You know that?
Yeah, send it.
So it'll be out in the schools, and it'll be out for sale very soon, but on probably Windrush Day. So this is something I'm very proud of. And I think of my late father.
Well done, boy.
Pretty knows
big
about
up.
Nice.
Very proud.
I love my people.
Yeah, very proud. I mean, like stories like these, I mean, I know there's love stories in the Windrush generation as well. I haven't been told. Yeah, I haven't been told. So
real life stories that is mixed in with the struggle, you know, real life, not razzle dazzle.
Yeah, no, definitely. So we're not like go through this is me, and then obviously I'm on Supreme. I'm on Marathon Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. But that's me. Come on and say it.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you. We'll be back soon with another big new film on our platform. So please sign up to our email database, everyone. I did put the link in the chat earlier on. So if you're not on our email database, please put your
Come here, Barbados.
on or whatever. And yeah, you're a gooner, ain't you?
No.
Not you.
There we go.
Oh,
there we go. You started him off wide.
Well, did he score at the end then? Did he score at the end? Right at the end?
Yeah. So don't worry about that. Just big up Barbados, yeah, because yeah, you only got Rihanna. That's all we got. That's all we got.
Yeah, big up to everybody, and big up to Barbados and all the other countries as well. So thank you everyone once again for coming. Please, support again. So keep following us to support what we do, and yeah, we're gonna have some great films coming very soon, and we're gonna have a big new platform as well. So one love to everyone. God bless. Have a great Sunday. I'm off to have a bottle of bloody wine. See you later. All right.
Bye, everybody.
Take care. Keep safe.
God bless.
Bye.